Here we go. This is it. Episode 430 of No Laugh Track Podcast. Hear how natural that was? Fuck? This isn't the second time we're starting this podcast. No.
430.
He's
my word.
Blown away.
I am actually blown away. 430 is so fucking many episodes.
Thank you. One a week for the most part. We've missed a couple. No Laugh Track Podcast, Acme's podcast. I'm Justin Severson. Here at Acme on a Friday afternoon, I guess it is now, with Stavros Halkias. Your first time on this podcast.
That's right.
A lot of times I'll listen back and try to get some updates. There's nothing to... I could listen to like Sam Morrill and maybe try to tie that into you. Is the closest I could really do.
My boy Sam, we do a basketball podcast together.
Yeah, but other than that, I got nothing personal on you. So
nothing.
Except that I was at the show last night.
Yes.
And that was fantastic.
Hell yeah, thanks, dude.
Yes. So I'm going to just start by repeating what I've already told you, is that I arrived late last night, got to the... where they sell tickets here at Acme, and I was like, I need 6 immediately. Just joking. I was here by myself.
Yeah.
And they said, it's sold out.
Damn.
What? Well, I'll just sneak in the back then?
Yeah.
And it was packed. So
I know.
way to go.
Thanks, man.
Thursday night crowd.
I was pissed. I was ready to phone in a Thursday, and then I was like, oh, there's people here? I have to try?
Yeah.
But no, I'm thrilled. I was shocked that, we're doing really good numbers, and it's my first time here. I've never been in Minneapolis, so I'm loving it. And I hear so many great things about the club, so I'm packed. I'm pumped to do all these shows this weekend.
What? So you already answered the first time in Minneapolis, first time at Acme.
First time at Acme.
What? Even like so leading up to this week, like what did you like? Minnesota. Let's see. What do I know about Minnesota?
Yeah, I don't know shit except like when I was a little kid. I grew up in Baltimore. We didn't have a football team, and I was a Randy Moss fan when I was like a little kid. So that's kind of like a spiritual connection I have to the city.
Yeah.
But then as soon as we got the Ravens, I jumped ship and couldn't give a fuck about the Vikings. But but Randy Moss is fucking cool. He's maybe. After Ed Reed, my favorite football player.
You know what? I wish I could have done the same thing you did and jumped on because
right.
you have a championship.
Exactly.
So good for you.
I actually remember the year the Ravens won the first championship. We have
Listen
two.
Listen
we
to
have
you.
two.
First.
We have two. Let's be in a short existence. Although I guess we were the Colts before. But anyway, I remember the first championship. The Vikings were actually in the NFC Championship with the Giants, and I thought for sure they were going to win. And I was like, "Oh, sick! Like it's my new team versus my old team. It's like I'm a winner either way." And then somehow the Giants, I'm still pissed off. I'm sure you guys still care about that.
Is that the game that is referred to as 41 Donut?
Yeah, you got your ass cheeks clapped.
Yeah.
By the Giants, who I didn't think were that good.
No, they weren't.
And it was weird. I thought for sure it was going to be the opposite because the Vikings offense was so good, but
everyone on that team should have lost their job.
Yeah,
based on that embarrassment.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So good for you.
Just kind of need to remind everyone listening about one of the most humiliating playoff defeats in your football team's history. But
thanks. Well, welcome to Minnesota.
Yeah. That's all. And of course the Timberwolves. I'm a big basketball guy. So,
yeah, right.
Big KG. I was a KG fan also. So mostly sports related. I don't actually know anything else about the city at all. But I'm having a nice time. There's any city that has like an electric bike, because it's like electric bike share and then like ethnic neighborhoods that I can get good cheap food within a 15-minute ride, I'm all in.
Yeah, we have those. We have several.
Love that. Yeah, that's what I did. That's my visit so far has been just like what I like about an electric bike is that it feels like exercise, even though it's not. It's sort of like you're pretending you're doing exercise.
It's good that you're being honest and including the electric before the bike. Not just saying, I biked around the city all day.
No, I did. Yeah, I can't. I would be winded as hell. But the electric bike, you feel like a god. I feel like Lance. I feel like what it must have been like to do steroids as Lance Armstrong. You know what I mean? And just like take me to the next level. But instead of like winning the Tour de France, it was just like being able to do a leisurely 11-minute bike ride. That's what I needed.
No one had to search for your body.
No, absolutely not.
Nice. Well, I'm going to get back at you on for bringing up that football defeat by saying I have a complaint about something you've already done in town here. You put I saw it on your Twitter feed, and it was a picture of you, and it said, "Me and my sneaky titty would love to see you at Acme this weekend."
Yeah.
I have a complaint.
What's that?
let me find the sneaky titty on my own.
Yeah,
don't point it
right.
out to me.
I thought you're not wrong about that. I actually thought about that. I was like, it would have been a nice. It's kind of like the electric bike. It would have been obvious. You would have found the titty, but everyone who found it would have been like, "Ooh, did he mean to do it?" You know?
Exactly.
And I apologize.
Exactly.
I apologize for taking your agency away in ogling my breasts.
Does he know how much? This adds the excitement. I don't know if he knows that I know, but I know.
Exactly. I apologize. I should have made it more flirtatious.
Yeah, but you're still around a couple more days. There's more chances.
You're right.
Fair
Maybe
enough.
I'll hang a little nutsack in a picture. Let you discover that next.
During the podcast?
Yeah, maybe. Hey, listen, where's this go? YouTube. I don't want to get kicked off YouTube, but if we can simulcast on X videos, yeah, I'll throw my nut out. I'm wearing pretty short shorts. They could pop out at any moment here.
Your balls are showing. Well, that's fucking fantastic. So let's talk about like last night. How did you think it went? Well, right?
Yeah, no, it was great. I was like a little like I mean I'm joking about obviously phoning it in on a Thursday, but Thursday is traditionally the day where you're like, let me get my bearings, because I was a little worn down from travel, so I was like kind of like, damn, if I had known this, because I went out, I did like a nice, I walked around the river. I was actually honestly kind of tuckered out. Where if I knew it was gonna be sold out, I'd be like, man, I should have taken like a nap. I should have been like, I would have had a little coffee. I would have been because I felt a little low energy. I was like, it's all right. I'll figure it out. I'll get my bearings. And it was just like packed. So
today's plan is to get some protein.
I'm getting protein. I'm napping big time. I'm bringing my A game. I might get one of those IV drip. You ever get one of those? The IV hydration drips?
No, but I probably could have used one many times.
They're incredible. I was in Denver, and there's a place right next door to the condo that I was staying in. I was like, fuck it, let's see what happens. I felt invincible after I had those drips. It was like somebody just puts like you just take their word for it that it's like medicine or vitamins.
That's the first thing I'm thinking. This isn't pina colada, is it?
No. Yeah, exactly. But I felt incredible, and so I'm thinking, maybe I'll get a little IV. I don't know. I have to do a little research. Maybe I'll get an IV drip and just be ready to go for. That shows you how bad my physical fitness is. That I'm like, I need an IV drip to do 2 hours of speaking later today. But I'm gonna bring my A game. Yeah. No, yesterday was great. It was really fun, and the room is great, and I had a blast. The comics I was working with were really fun. So yeah. It was cool.
How did COVID mess with like where you think you would have been now versus where you are now? Like material, touring, etc.
Yeah. Well,
I heard that were you going to go to Europe or something last year?
Dude, yeah, I was going to go to Europe. Literally March of 2020, I had a European tour. Yeah. Where it was the kind of thing where I was texting my agent. I was like, we should probably postpone this at least a month or two, right? It was like that's the thought process. I was like, do you guys think? And literally the email I sent was, should I just go because it wasn't technically shut down, but if I had gone, I might still be in London right now. You know what I mean? I might be seeking asylum right now.
Working on residency, yeah.
No, what I would have done is actually probably just snuck over to Greece and just stayed with my cousins. I would have just started a new life.
Hell yeah. Hop on a raft.
Maybe that's how I fucked up, actually. I should have gone on that European tour and just become a Greek citizen. But yeah, no, I had a European tour. I had a big, I had a lot of touring kind of planned. I was planning to shoot something. I was going to do a half hour, hopefully.
Okay.
And so, just like get some of my material out there. So it has affected me where I'm like, some of the jokes I'm telling, honestly, it's like, geez, I'm trying to shoot a special at the end of this tour, basically. So it went from last year, I was going to get rid of some of the older material and then work towards an hour special, to now I'm like, I just got to get an hour out there. Like, just let's do it. I've been doing stand-up for 13 years. I've only, I have one 5-minute special or 5-minute clip out there. I haven't really put anything else out. So
it's time.
It's time. So it's messed it up where I feel like some of this material, it feels like I'm, when you're microwaving leftovers, and it's like, so it's just like, let's just reheat this and put it out. There's like 20 minutes where I'm like, you gotta go. I can't. I'm tired of telling you. But but it's been good because I'm sort of like, even the jokes I'm maybe tired of, I'm rethinking them, and
nice.
It's been a really fun tour to try and get, try and make up for the losses that we've had because of COVID. Obviously, the whole industry has felt them, and so and I guess the other thing is that it's done is made me tour sort of nonstop this year, where it's like, I'm trying to make up for lost time. So basically from, I think like mid-August to like mid-December, I'm basically on the road almost every weekend.
Nice.
So yeah, that's basically how I'm trying to cope with it, I guess, trying to like make up for lost time. And it's fun. I love, being on the road's great. It's super fun.
I saw a thing, Matthew Broussard, I think just recently recorded a half-hour thing or something, maybe for Comedy Central. And I saw a little teaser for it, and he's like, yeah, during the pandemic, and it's like, are we still... Is it past tense? Like, can we say that now?
It's not, but we are in a weird, fucked up, like...
It's so weird.
It's like, it's still going on, but we're just like, who gives a fuck?
Right.
It's one of those where it's like... And I guess I was thinking about this too, like, because of this tour, because I'm like, part of me, I'm like, well, is this... Should I even... Like, what's the moral part of doing the tour? But the way I look at it is like... I waited for a year, and I got a vaccine, and it's like, once the vaccine came, it's like... All right, if I get it, I'm not going to die, So it's like, let's try and go, because it's like, you think about it, it's like people want to go to comedy. And also, like you do want to support like these venues too.
Hell yes.
Where it's like, I don't want, it's like all these great venues that are like shuttered. And it's like, no, they've worked so hard for years to create like a great thing. And it's like, well, if we just, what are we going to do? Like not do shit for 3 years. I mean, we're just here for a while is what it feels like, where it's like, no one's going to fix it's nothing's ever going to like, get vaccinated, try and like, maintain a distance, I guess, try and I get tested all the time because I'm traveling.
Sure.
But other than that, it's like, it's clear the government's not going to do the right thing. Like, it's just like they clearly don't know what the fuck they're doing, and it's like, we don't know what the fuck we're doing. People are taking horse medicine and shit. So
I think I told you before we started recording that I'm in the process of moving right now.
Yeah.
And I found, I'm seeing all this shit that's been sitting around my house for 7 years. I found a flyer that came in the mail at the heat of this COVID stuff last year, and it was like President Trump's guidelines for, and it's like I'm reading these like, well, we've skipped that. That's not applicable anymore. Nope. Fake.
I know.
That's not,
It's crazy.
We had that wrong.
It's crazy because it's like, in hindsight, we just basically should have just been doing what we're doing now. I mean, I guess we didn't have vaccines, so it's like, but we should have been like outdoors stuff.
Way more.
Like, like just done stuff outdoors instead of just like sitting. But we didn't know what the fuck we were doing.
Yeah.
So I guess now that's my thought process. Like, I got vaccinated, like, so I'm just gonna like. Just going to be out there and try and get back to normal as safely as possible.
Exactly.
And,
Exactly. So I think I told you that when I popped in to see the show last night, I arrived by myself. There's a friend that I reached out to come with me, but he never replied to me. And now I'm like, I don't know how to deal with this because I sent him a message saying, hey, aren't you the one that told me about Cumtown?
Right. Yeah. No response.
And
if you're wrong,
you can't leave me hanging on. Aren't you the one that told me about Cumtown?
Yeah. Well, you also got to be real sure that he is the one that told you about Cumtown.
I'm pretty sure.
You don't want to be. That's kind of on you, because if he's not, then they're like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" I would be, because Cumtown. Like, look, I'm glad the podcast has literally taken me out of poverty, but at the same time, it's a shameful thing that no one should listen to. At the same time, Cumtown should be one of those things where you don't tell anyone about, you're embarrassed while you're doing it, and and you just never, if people come to the shows this weekend and they make eye contact, they're like, oh, I didn't realize my coworker listens. Never mention it outside of the confines of this showroom. It's a shameful thing that you should be embarrassed for being a fan of.
Yeah,
so.
I'm worried. This is a friend that I know from work.
Right.
So I am now worried that HR is.
Yeah, you're fucked. He could literally just send that text and be like, yeah, I'm being sexually harassed.
Yeah, Justin's sexually harassing me.
Justin invited me to Cumtown, and I want him gone. I want him chastised. He needs to go into training.
Yeah, so I just lost a job. Thanks a lot.
Yep.
I'm not even making this up. He really didn't reply. I'm like,
yeah.
you cannot leave me hanging.
No. Or it's a pretty good joke actually on his. If he is leaving you hanging on purpose, that's pretty good.
True,
because now you're just sweating it. You know?
Right.
You're like, what if I didn't? What if he didn't tell me about it?
Yeah, Cumtown message board is about to get a screenshot of mine from him. Probably.
Yeah.
Look at this
for
dork.
Sure. Yeah. You're about to get doxxed.
Which is even great. Let's transition this into so talking a little bit more about that podcast. You know, although I'm sure if people are watching this, they already know about you and doing that. But the merch is strong.
The merch is not. I can't. Most of that is Nick Mullen does the merch. My merch shop, the only merch that I personally can endorse is to be found at stavi.biz.
I saw that stuff as
shop.
Well.
Okay.
Yes.
As far as I'm concerned, there is no Cumtown merch. So we're gonna zoom right past that. In fact, please edit that out and only relate to just loop back my plug of stavi.biz instead of your initial question about the merch, because as far as I'm concerned, it does not exist. I don't see a dime of it. So
fair enough.
It's not real as far as I'm concerned.
Not real. I agree.
It's bootleg, and if anything, you should file complaints on the website. Yeah, get it taken down. No, don't do that. But just don't buy it.
I'm always down for a good bargain.
Yes.
A discount gets my attention.
I'm listening.
2020 Stavi calendar.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a collector's item. It's still we're still selling it, I believe, for $10. I don't know what
That's what I saw. $10.
Yeah. But it's there's a lot of very tasteful nude photography. So if you're just a fan of art, I think you should get it. Look, is it a useful calendar anymore? No, we're almost 2 years removed from when it was. But if you enjoy fine art and the male form, I think you're really going to like the 2020.
The male form.
The male form.
Is that how you describe it?
Absolutely, 100%.
I love that.
The platonic ideal of the male form.
Have you gone to figure out, like, done the math of when 2020 calendars are relevant again? Because I think.
Oh, nice.
Because
yeah.
I'm not going to pretend to know. I don't know if it's like 16
but
years, 10 years,
like
8
that.
years.
Yeah.
Where all the dates fall back on the same days again.
Right.
So
that's interesting.
Hold on to those.
That's exactly right.
Let's say it's 21 years from now.
You're right. And then I'm gonna fucking now it's double the price.
I was gonna say price goes back up
because you can use it and it's a fucking antique at this point.
Exactly.
That's really smart. But 2022, we're coming your way. Don't worry. The Stavi Baby 2022 calendar production is well underway.
Okay, I did think I saw some pictures or a little behind the scenes.
That's right.
Sneak peek on your Instagram.
I went to LA because I did Seattle and Portland, and then I had a weekend in Utah, and it just didn't make sense to like fly all the way back to New York. So I was like, oh, I'll go to LA and like I'll relax or whatever for see some friends, relax between the tour. And then like a couple photographers hit me up, and I spent basically my whole trip there just having strangers photograph me completely nude. So I did it for people that like to mark the passage of time with nude photographs of me, and you'll have that ability in 2022.
What did I see on the 2021 for the month of May? It's May, and then parentheses, I see your breasts.
May I see your breasts? Yeah. Yeah. And that's just even outside of a calendar is a question. I think an implicit question I'm asking every woman. I think so.
I mean, it could have been. Yeah. It could have been on every month, really.
Absolutely. And if you're listening and want to show me your breasts, my DMs are open. So just kind of, I have to throw that out there as a matter of fact.
Fair enough. How are you using social media these days?
I just promote. I mean, mostly as a promotional tool, I guess. I don't know.
I saw that you were doing some sort of like Twitch question,
advice
thing during the last year.
I do have an advice show that I'm going to get back. It's taken a hit because of all the touring, but once I settle into more of a rhythm, I've been like gone for like 2 weeks at a time the first part of the tour, but this next part of the tour, it's mostly weekends in clubs. So I'll be home for 3 days and then away for 3 days. So I do a Twitch show called Stavi Solves Your Problems. It's an advice show, and it's available on YouTube if you want to go check it out. But yeah, I just I take poor misguided souls call in leave a voicemail, and I give them some of my expertise for sure. Yeah.
Have you done any follow-ups on that?
Couple follow-ups. I mean, sometimes people call back. Some of the stories are triumphant. It's a lot of. I'll be honest. A lot of my fan base and a lot of the people that call in are just like, how do I talk to a woman? That's a lot of the questions. And you know what?
Have you helped anybody with that?
I've helped a couple people with that. And I think also just in general, I like to provide some. I think there's some misguided, especially on the internet and especially amongst like, let's say, quote unquote, incel culture, where it's like these guys are all really worried about like not being able to fuck because of how they physically appear. And I've sort of made it my goal to look as stupid as possible and get as much pussy as possible. And kind of as like a, if I can do it, boys, you can do it too. Until like I was missing a tooth for 2 years.
Yeah.
And things were going great. I had a girlfriend at the time, and then we broke up.
And completely bald.
And now that I got the tooth, I said, "Fuck it, let's grow out this third henchman in a Steven Seagal movie hairline. let's get that look going." And I'm gonna go
Thug number 3,
baby. And I'm gonna go full bald pony. That's my ultimate goal. And so I just want to provide like a guiding light of like, look, just like shower, get some reasonable clothes. Be nice to like a girl, and things will go well for you. Is all. Just believe in yourself is really what it comes down to.
I love it. So I want to bring up. I think this ties in. So last night at the show, you did a little bit of crowd work, talked to some people. Threesomes came up, and there was I couldn't see them very well, but there was a guy that spoke up about participating in a threesome.
That's right.
That had some very strange details.
Yeah, that happens. I like to ask that question a lot. I tell a story about a disastrous threesome that I had during my stand-up, but before that, I like to ask if anybody, and you usually get a lot of nice responses. This guy was a stripper. Her boyfriend had cheated on her, and some woman just found this guy. He was watching basketball, and a woman went up to him and was like, "Hey, my boyfriend cheated on me. I'd like to get back at him by having sex with you." And he was like, nice, hell yeah. And what he didn't know is that the boyfriend would just hop in the mix without really letting him know. And so he was just kind of ambushed by the way he described it, not to get too graphic, but here we go. He was on bottom, and then the girl was on top, and then the other guy just kind of came through, I guess, just hopping in a different entrance. And the most horrible part was there was absolutely some those like like a rich guy will have like those like metallic balls that like clack, and then like they just like they transfer like the energy to the ball. I think that's what was happening with this man's testicles and the other guy's balls also.
Is that kinetic energy?
I think they were transferring kinetic energy through their balls, through their nut sacks. And unfortunately that's what he experienced. So, he survived it. He's never seen them again. And
it's so great. Like I'm sitting way in the back, and like you hear this threesome talk, and it's like, everybody's interest is piqued when that comes up.
Sure.
And then it goes to the forbidden.
Some
people say 2 guy, 1 girl.
Of course, the devil's threesome.
Threesome.
Which is not a configuration I'm interested in personally. No.
Nah,
some people are. Some people see it as a bonding experience amongst each other.
There's so many other nice ways to bond with guys.
Yeah, you're right. You're not wrong about that.
So many fun ways.
Yeah, for me, I don't want another a penis breathing fresh air in a room that I'm having sex in. That's just kind of one of my standards.
I gotta correct one thing you said there.
Okay.
It wasn't at a basketball game.
No, he was watching a basketball game at a bar. It was post Justin Bieber concert.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yes.
Post Justin Bieber concert.
Yes. He's at a bar watching. It was actually the 2016 finals.
Oh, that's how that tied
in. The Cavs versus the Warriors,
yes.
where the Cavs came back Game 7. He's watching Game 7, and a Justin Bieber concert lets out, and no one from the concert wants to have sex with him, but a grizzled stripper with revenge on the mind. She pinpointed him as somebody as a conduit for her revenge.
Oh, that was so fantastic. That's great. You never know what's going to come out.
You never know
from people. So before we started recording, I kind of gave you a little, I'm like, oh, I got something that I was discussing with some friends last night that I'm going to bring up. And so this is it.
Hit me with it, baby.
Hit me with it. So I was also telling you that I have 3 daughters. One, the oldest, is in high school. Yep. Yesterday, so I got an email. I mean, school just started.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks ago, whatever.
Damn, I guess it did, huh?
And,
I'm so removed from the rhythms of real life.
Isn't it great not having to pay attention to that?
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. It's in the back. Anyway, so I got this. All parents got this message yesterday from the school about a concern they're having. A few students at our school are engaging in a school bathroom challenge that began on social media. Yeah. This challenge includes students filming themselves vandalizing and stealing items from school, primarily soap dispensers.
Oh, shit.
Over the last 3 days, we have seen 17 soap dispensers go missing from our bathrooms.
What the fuck?
Yes.
But the kids are posting them, aren't they?
Yes.
So it's easy to get found.
Completely.
Yeah.
So I asked.
Did your daughter come home with like 4 tubs of that pink bathroom soap?
She told me in one of the girls' bathrooms at school, they left the holder and just drained the soap.
Oh,
Like they didn't even take the whole thing off the wall.
Yeah, too much work.
What is that?
Yeah.
So I was talking to a friend of mine that's a teacher in the Twin Cities, and he was saying that at his school, like this is nationwide.
Sweeping the nation
this week. At his school, they've taken the pipes from the sink.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? That's something. If it's a vocational school and these kids are learning plumbing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that's kind of interesting.
That's for second period, man. I should get an A. You fucker. Right? So I talked to my 15-year-old about this. I was like, what do you like, have you seen any of these videos? Are any of your friends doing this? What do you know about this? And she's like, well, first of all, the school's calling it a challenge. That's not what we call it. We call it, have you ever heard this term? A devious lick.
I've heard the term hitting a lick, which is a crime that you commit.
Yeah.
But I didn't know. Devious is, I've never heard devious attached to it.
And lick is, yes, that's the way
lick,
to use lick in this.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's what the kids are calling this.
So these kids, these cute little, like, I'm guessing mostly white, because hit a lick is like a phrase from rap, right? Where it's like you commit a crime, you know, rob somebody, shoot them, whatever.
Yeah.
So this like what I'm guessing is a suburban. If your face is any indication, if your face and manner of speech is any indication, a suburban white school, these kids are calling it.
Yes, that's where my ex-wife lives.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes.
They're calling it hitting a lick. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
A devious lick, though. That's fun.
Devious lick.
That throws a little something to it.
Yeah. So after I talked to her, I went and Googled devious lick.
You didn't do Google Images, did you?
It went to your podcast.
Yeah.
No, they. I mean, there are stories. You do the Google News stories of devious lick, and there's a story from, every state in the country is
wild.
Busting kids about this. But this is one that's local. I want to give you a few more details on this.
Yes, please.
You can hear about what's going on in the schools here. This is, says back to school isn't only exciting for students, but parents as well. This parent said, we got to see the classrooms. We got to hear about new curriculum. And then we met with the principal. He said, and if you need to use the restrooms, don't be concerned if you see what looks like blood splatter on the walls.
What the fuck?
That's a TikTok prank, and it's really Kool-Aid or something like that, so don't worry about it. We just haven't got it all cleaned off yet.
Jesus. Maybe get it cleaned off.
Could you imagine that's your first day at this new school?
Yeah.
That's not blood.
That's not blood, by the way. Just Kool-Aid.
You're supposed to believe that? Like,
I'll
once
take your
school's
word
in
for it.
session, it will be blood.
But
right now, that's Kool-Aid.
That's wild.
What the fuck?
School just started. Interesting. This seems like this could be kind of a psyop, though, to get maybe the CIA is behind this to keep COVID spreaded. You know, because if we're in these high schools, no masks, they're not washing hands, they don't have soap.
Oh,
you know, maybe they want us to go into another lockdown. Something to think about. You know, this could be like crack. How Ronald Reagan invented it and gave it to the black
community.
People.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. This could be the way the CIA is now. We want to keep COVID going. How do you do that?
I think
you get soap out of public schools so kids can't wash
Stavros,
their hands.
That's not it. That's not even it. They're also taking the towel dispenser.
Oh, you can't even
store.
Yeah,
no soap, no towel dispenser.
No
what are you
hand
doing?
washing whatsoever.
You're passing every poop germ off your hands.
Exactly.
That's what you're doing.
I think that's what they got a little taste of COVID and they're like, all right, now let's get pink eye spreading everywhere. let's get these kids spreading every disease going. We might be in for a new dark ages. The bubonic plague might be back. That's something I would be concerned about, and I can't wait to leave Minneapolis now that I know that that's what's going on here. I'm going to be walking around in a hazmat suit for the remainder of my time. I'll be avoiding teenagers even more than usual.
I don't want to be anywhere near your devious lick.
No.
I literally I had the conversation I had with my daughter was on the phone. I'm like, this is so new to me. I was like, will you text this to me when we're done? Because I'm gonna forget this term. This is so bizarre to me, and I need to share this with everyone.
Yeah.
I'll say one final thing about
Please.
that. So there's her math class. So I was asking her also about like the are they wearing masks and stuff? And she was telling me, like, in one of her classes, 6 out of 32 kids are wearing masks. That's a whole nother thing, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's not my deal. But she said that now in the last 2 days when kids ask to go use the bathroom, I mean, they're like putting cameras, they're having extra people watch and everything. This one class she's in, the teacher then asks, well, are you going to go steal something or vape? Because then you can't.
Yeah, vaping, it's very interesting. Smoking is back because of vaping. Like, teenage smoking is back because of vapes. It's like, I feel like cigarettes, it was done.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Kids weren't really smoking, but now they're hitting vapes left and right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, it tastes like grapefruit.
Yeah, it tastes pretty good.
By the way, my favorite is the people that are anti-vax, but vape.
Yeah, of course.
Well, you don't know what the...
Yeah.
What's in that?
No, there's a ton of shit like that.
You're worried about what's in that vaccine? Well, what the fuck's in your vape pen?
It's also like a lot of people who are anti-vax are like really like health nuts or like gym nuts, really. And it's like, all the like protein powders and all the like the fucking like pre-workout shit where they're just like getting fucking amped. There's no way that shit's like FDA approved in any way, shape, or form.
It's right on the side of the can.
I know. It is funny that people want to know how medicine works now. It's like, listen, I'm dumb as shit. I take Tylenol. I don't know what the fuck's going on over there, I'm in. Whatever it is that makes it so that I will not die if I get COVID, sign me the fuck up.
Are we going to have a generation of kids who are like, this is like, if they have a cough and you want to give them, cold medicine, I need to know exactly what's in this.
Yeah. I wonder.
God.
I wonder. I just feel like it is going to swing back at some point where kids just don't. I feel like young kids now, I mean, you would know, you have kids, but it feels like they got to be way more nihilistic than even we are, where it's like they're global warming. They're just like, the sun might explode in their lifetime. You know what I mean? Like, it might be too hot to fuck. I just feel like kids now don't give a fuck about anything. My prediction is like the kids that are like 8 now are going to just be like, they're not going to be politically correct at all. They're not going to give a fuck about anything. They're going to vape. They're doing vaping now. They might be doing heroin in high schools in 8 years. Because
you're not going to go steal something or shoot heroin, are you?
Yeah. Because who cares? The fucking world, every old person in charge is just like, more oil drilling. Like by the time they come around, it's just going to be horrible.
50 years from now, I'd be like, you don't need to leave the class to do heroin. Just go in the heroin corner and do it with the other kids.
Yeah. Clean needles, baby.
Clean.
Yeah.
Where else are you going to get your clean needles? Exactly. Hey, so I want to give a little attention. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. Did you watch Sam Merle's
documentary? No, I have not watched the whole documentary.
I'm so excited to watch this.
It's going to be awesome. He's been running, him and Matt Salek, been running around New York, just kind of like talking to comics, going to shows, documenting New York opening again. And Sam is a fucking lunatic. Like, that motherfucker in the middle of the pandemic was just like, he could not stop doing stand-up comedy. Yeah. He was doing outdoor shows. He was organizing them himself. So he's the perfect guy to have this perspective because it never stopped for him. The set, he was finding safe ways to do stand-up, at every turn. So with shit opening back up, he's got the right perspective for sure.
Nice. And you're appearing in it a little bit?
I'm in it a little bit. Yeah. Sam did my show at the Bell House called Pantheon, and we talk a little bit backstage, and We talk about getting I got very fat during the pandemic because it was just easy to do that, and and also hooking up during the pandemic for sure. So I didn't. He didn't really want to know my comedy perspective, but he wanted to know about what it was like to be a fat slut during the pandemic. We all have our areas of expertise, and that's mine.
I think we got this rap. We need fat sluts.
Yeah, we got a gaping hole in the fat slut department.
We need 30 seconds from fat sluts. Does anyone know one? I listened to you on the podcast, Are You Garbage?
Oh, yeah. I love those
funny
guys.
stuff.
Yeah. Those guys are great.
Very funny
great
stuff.
Podcast, for sure.
By the end of it, what was the decision? One said yes, one said no.
I think I'm garbage. I went in fully self-appointed garbage for sure.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I was going to go with until I finished listening, and then I heard their opinions at the end.
Yeah. Well, they're who cares? That's the other thing. Is like, who are these two pieces of Philly trash, or the arbiters of whether they're garbage or not? They are some of the most garbage human beings I've ever encountered in my life. So their opinion to me does not matter whatsoever.
Yeah,
I'll tell them if I'm garbage or not.
There was one thing came up on there. Milk with dinner.
Ridiculous.
I was raised in a home where there was always offered milk for dinner.
That's one of the fucking most wild things I've ever heard in my life.
And as an adult, I never do that.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Milk is too thick.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you eating? It's just like it's not a water is what you want for dinner. You want to be washing you want to clear your palate. You're eating, and then fucking I'm pissed off all over again thinking about this. Foley's dumbass talking about eating it with spaghetti.
Yeah.
That's fucking gross.
No,
it's gross.
I've done that.
What's
it's not
in
bad.
It's just how creamy are your arteries? You know what I mean? Like your whole throat is just like you need to wash it down. It's disgusting.
There's something about it.
Milk is a dessert. It's a breakfast thing. It should not be mixing with savory unless you're making some kind of like sauce, Alfredo sauce or some shit like that. And even that is borderline.
So I have my own. I'm not trying to steal their gig or whatever.
Sure.
This isn't the Are You Garbage Part 2. But I have one question. This is my own version of that.
Please.
Just right now.
Please.
As a child, as an adult, at any point in your life, did you ever try animals' dog food, like cat food, dog food?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm guessing you did.
No, but one of my and this isn't one of those. I have a friend that has a tiny penis. What should she do about it? No.
Stand-up comedy for 13 years would be my. Speaking from personal experience, that would be what I would say you do.
Move to New York.
Move to New York. Start a podcast to get successful for some reason that you still don't understand. That would be my advice to that friend of yours.
No, I have a family member. I'll tell you, one of my daughters has admitted to eating the cat's food when she was little.
That's a cry for help.
I know. I'm like,
you should have been around. Was it around the time of the divorce?
No. Hey, it was based on finances, right?
Yeah.
Now you should feel like a dick.
Yeah, when you say she tried it, you meant you served her cat food tacos one night when times were tough.
With a freaking glass of milk, the way God intended. No, one of my daughters and like a childhood friend, I remember I have still vivid memories of him busting up those little Gaines burgers, or what the hell they were called.
Interesting.
For his dog and freaking eating it. I'm like, it's not that bad.
Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous.
And my daughter said, she's like, it tasted, I don't remember what it tasted like, and she had a good analogy, something that like tastes decent. I'm like, but don't.
I mean, I'm sure
it's ended.
As
far as I know,
any canned meat is bad news, right? Like, how much different is Spam from dog food, right?
Yeah.
And I grew up, like I said, poor eating. We ate plenty of Spam.
Oh,
Spam was on the menu.
Beef stew.
Yeah, all that shit is fucking. You're 1/4 step removed from dog food. You know what I mean? It's not that different.
Chef Boyardee meatballs.
Yeah,
right?
Totally. Any meat in a can meat that's not refrigerated is a problem. So to give a little credit to your daughter and your childhood friend. If it wasn't for a picture of an animal on the thing, maybe I would. I think that was probably the limiting factor for me. I just couldn't because I'd eat a lot of dog. You know, I eat a lot of bullshit. But it's like when you see a fucking dog's face, you're like, all right. And cracking it open, it's like maybe one of those biscuits. If the packaging was just like didn't have a dog on it, maybe I could have a dog treat. And it wasn't shaped like a bone. You know,
maybe if someone snuck one in some Chex Mix.
Totally. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
These are like the good, but a little different.
Yeah. There's something interesting about these for sure. For sure.
I freaking love it. Let's see. Is there anything else we should mention? I think we hit everything that I really wanted to get to. The Come Town podcast. You got the Patreon that is amazingly successful.
Yeah, check out Come Town. Check out Pod Don't Lie, the basketball podcast I do with my boy Sam. Actually,
now is that all Patreon as well?
That's half Patreon. We same thing. We do
half.
We have Patreon episodes. We have free episodes as well. And we're taking, when the season ramps up, we do 2 episodes a week. In the off season, we just do Patreon. There's not that much to talk about. But,
sure.
And then Stavros Solves Your Problems. Yeah, check it out on YouTube, my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be bringing that back in a full-time capacity pretty soon. So.
Nice. Yeah. And then, this is going to be released today, so people should obviously need to come to these shows. Find whatever shows, tickets are available. Come to these shows here at Acme.
Fast, yeah.
Yeah, 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday.
Yep. And
after the shows, do you go and take a picture with people?
It depends. I mean, I was feeling a little run down yesterday, so I just kind of but yeah, I'll probably, especially on the late shows, the early shows is kind of hard because you want to, flip the room over. You don't want too much.
Great point.
Too much stuff, but yeah,
great points.
Definitely. I do like to meet people. I like to hang out, and if I'm not too, it depends. Maybe I'll have that IV drip that we were talking about, and I'll be ready for human interaction. But I'm around. I'm hanging out. Yeah, nice. For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. If anybody shows up this weekend and sees the IV drip, please post that online. I want to see that.
Yeah.
That could catch on. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. Well,
thanks again. This has been great.
Totally.
And let's do this again
Thanks for having me.
Soon.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
I love it.
Thanks, man.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
Boom.